It is also my honor to be here today and to be representing this amazing group of extremely hardworking people that have worked together for the past 100 days. Felt like 100 years, but it's really 100 days. We've all been talking a lot about what do we need to do to raise the quality of education for all of our schools in the city of Detroit. And a lot of our recommendations are really based on that. How do we improve the quality of education for all children in the city of Detroit, regardless of what school they go to or what neighborhood they live in? One of the things that became very clear in some of the research is that there was not a lot of equity or accountability and equal access for all families across the city of Detroit. So for us, it's very key that we create a system that is equitable and accessible for all Detroit students and families. These are some of the major issues that we found as we were doing our research, that lack of equitable access to transportation, to special education, to enrollment systems were all barriers for families to really get their children to school and to figure out where they could take their children to school. In order to address this, it means that we have to have a more coordinated system across the board to ensure that parents and students are really going to be able to access the schools. Having a citywide student data system would help to support not only parents being able to enroll their children, but it would really address some of the issues that we've been encountering as a city, many of them tragedies. When people have been talking about these 2 babies that ended up dead that were not in school for 2 years, and people asked, how did the school system not know those kids weren't in school? It's possible in the city of Detroit right now because there's no coordination. There's no way to know if a kid's in school or not in our current system. So it's critical that we have a common data system so we can track kids, so we can get the data from one school to the other, so we can track performance of all the schools. To improve transportation for all children, some schools have transportation systems, others don't. So making sure that all children are able to get to school on time, and that are able to have access to that sort of a transportation system by communities. And then to have high-quality wraparound services for all children, because we know that families need support, that a lot of what happens in the community also affects what happens to children in school. So we need to make sure that we have wraparound support systems that are coordinated across the city to support those children and their families in their desire to get a good education. We wanted to make sure that there is real community voice at all levels. At the school level, with the school leadership teams that will have parents, teachers, the principal, and students involved in making sure each school is being able to perform. And those school leadership teams will then provide leadership and input, and the membership will be drawn from those school leadership teams for the regional councils that Tanya had talked about, which will assist the DC in planning and having input into what each community really needs at the ground level. So this is not a top-down approach. This is very much from a bottom-up, from the community up. And we have heard from a lot of folks in the community through this process. We've had parent forums, we've had youth forums, we've been listening to the community. Many of us are from the community for a couple of years now, and their voices have informed most of our recommendations that we have here.